All right, I believe we are live now. I'm ArtGainz, and I'm here with Aaron Doudy, also known as RPGrizzly, and we're here primarily to talk about Aaron's Kickstarter, which I know practically nothing about. Hopefully we get a few viewers from Social Galactic and other viewers from our YouTube channels. Um, yeah, so this is the first time we're doing this. I have very little experience with hosting, but I'm going to try to do my best. Give you let's let Aaron give a brief introduction to himself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Aaron, and then we'll move on from there.
All right. Yeah, so I've been YouTubing a little bit. I did under. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear
Okay.
you.
All right, cool. Yeah, my name's Aaron Doudy. I'm a writer and now an ex-principal. I was fired for reading literature like War and Peace around my students, and now I'm trying to fight back a little bit by writing a book that I hope young people will want to read, and then hopefully encourage them through it to read some of that more higher learning literature. Yeah, besides that, I have a YouTube channel I've dabbled at over the years, and I'm a crazy person with 4 kids and a wonderful little wife over here who's trying to do all the sound design.
All right, all right. You were fired from your teaching job, is that correct?
I was actually a principal.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
was it a Christian school?
It was a tiny little Christian school. It was one of the weirdest experiences of my life, I'm not going to lie. And it just sort of proved to me that it didn't matter how small the school was or how big the school was. It's homeschool or die all the way now. Because, all the people in charge of these schools now have weird egos and life choices. And it's not about the students anymore. It's not about the kids. And been driving me a little crazy ever since I realized that. I was hoping this would be a change because it was such a small school, but after graduation, they just kind of called me in, and that was it.
So you lasted a year, and then they said that's too much.
Oh, I wish I lasted 3 to 4 months. They got
Oh my goodness.
yeah, and
It was a speed run.
oh yeah, oh man, they moved me out here and everything. The funny thing is, they've been like telling me how great I was doing and all this stuff, and then pulled the rug out from under me, literally, and no, not literally, figuratively,
Hmm.
and
My
just
goodness.
suddenly, yep. Yeah, one of the in those situations is little life for everybody. When people want you gone, they're gonna come up with just as many things as they can to throw out the wall, hoping something will stick. Which
And
means most of them. Oh, go ahead.
and the reason they gave you was because you read War and Peace.
That was one of them. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. The other ones actually make it worse. Like, for example, one was I asked my students during a Bible study that I was teaching what they wanted to do with their life. And they told me that that was a secular question. Principals worried about what kids want to do with their lives in Bible study was apparently too secular for them. And
was it
then Warren.
was it because they thought you would try to direct them toward something that they didn't like, or
That's the
because
crazy thing. They didn't really elaborate on that. Like when I saw the point where it says, like literally the point on the paper, right, that I signed because I desperately needed my last paycheck and stuff was read War and Peace in front of students. And that's all it said. Like it was an obvious problem. And when I made them elaborate, they said you were trying to spread your worldview. Which is
the
crazy
War
because
and Peace worldview.
yeah,
Sorry, is that Solzhenitsyn or is that someone else?
it's Tolstoy.
Tolstoy. Yes. Sorry,
Yeah.
I feel stupid now.
You don't need to. I mean, part of the reason why I was reading it too. Not only did I want to help the students read, but I realized my literature classes had never had me read it either. So I was trying to catch up for my own sake, and thought, well, this is a great opportunity to encourage the students to read around me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in break time and stuff, I just break it out when I was sitting at tables with them, and I actually had some progress here and there. I had one kid, I gave him a copy of my Art of War by Sun Tzu. Now, some people might think, oh, war, art. Not, if you look at it, his big thing is the supreme art of war is to not fight at all, like win without fighting. So,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and having a student like that read it all and choose to read and want to read, dude, he was not a reader whatsoever. And it felt really good to get some progress. But, you know, some people don't care about that kind of thing.
Well, I don't know. I attended a Christian school for a little bit growing up before I started homeschooling, and yeah, it probably wasn't as bad as what you're describing, but I'm sure it was going in that direction. I mean, the obviously the public schools, I've sometimes described them as satanic mills, you know, after that poem, and did those
Oh, yeah.
feet in ancient time walk upon England's verdant hills or whatever, and then among those satanic mills, I reappropriated that expression to refer to the public schools. There's one being built right near my house, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible.
So it's going to be an enjoyable experience, to say the least. I'm glad your local district is being enriched.
Yes. Well,
Sarcasm.
they've been putting in a lot of subdivisions, so I guess putting in a school was inevitable eventually.
Just can't wait for all the 13-year-old, obviously 13-year-old Somalis to come in. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't driven around in those suburbs, so I don't know how many immigrants they are. I mean, I think it's probably mostly people who work in Toronto and want to commute in from a smaller town. So I suspect that's might be it, but I don't know. It might be it might be immigrants. If it is, that'll be terrible.
Well, you know, it's one of those things you can't get away from. Let's face it; those suburbs are being made because they're trying to escape all that in Toronto.
Oh yeah, probably. I used to live right in Toronto, and a few years ago, I didn't mind it. I thought it was all right at the time, but I am glad to be not there at the moment. I mean, I did live in Ottawa for a while, and that was terrible. all the crackheads and drug dens across the street, everyone making meth, and the crazy neighbors.
There's a picture of Canada us United States people don't hear about a lot of times, to be honest. Like any movie in Canada is always like picturesque mountains,
well,
or
it is,
really
but
cool.
not in the major cities. Yeah.
You hear as much, but it's a nice, not nice, but it's good to hear the confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I guess I didn't actually talk about what the Kickstarter was. Do you want me to get into that?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So being a writer and realizing that no one anywhere was going to let me teach kids for my really dangerous, no good war and peace worldview, and being stubborn, I decided, okay, how can I, with my limited skill set, help young people start to read? And I sort of inspired by the one student who picked up The Art of War and all that went, okay, what if I wrote a book specifically for youth that's geared towards pushing them towards classical literature? So some more heroic stuff mixed in, good prose, but not too complicated for people to understand. And just, kind of like how Lord of the Rings for a lot of people back in the day was like a stepping stone into harder reading and all the rest. I kind of want to do that.
Right.
So I planned out this Kickstarter because honestly, I wanted to wait till the book was more done, but getting fired kind of surprised me. So this is one of those things. I'm not even going to have enough money to put it on Amazon at this rate, kind of thing.
Oh, I see. Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm happy to help spread the word, even though we have an astounding one watcher at the moment.
You know what? It's fun. That's the point.
You got to start somewhere. That one watcher is me.
Hey, it's not as bad as Facebook because the AI talking to each other constantly. It's okay.
Ah,
Call it a nice practice run. I have faith in you. It's all right.
we'll get there.
Oh man. So yeah,
I guess I
story's gonna
should
be. Go ahead.
I should get the Kickstarter uh link from you and put it in the description.
That's right. Well, the simple thing to do, it might even be easier than me sending it to you. If you just go to the Kickstarter and search in the tab for Tales from the Dead Sector, it should be like the first thing that pops up. Has my
Okay.
name and everything.
Kickstarter crowdfunding.
Yep.
No, that's not it. Kickstarter. There we go. What was the title again?
Tales from the Dead Sector.
Tales from the Dead Sector. There we
For
go.
everyone at home right now, Tales from the Dead Sector, Gods of Science and Sin.
Okay, there it is. Let me
Yeah.
get the link there.
So just as he's doing that too, part of the importance of doing this, of writing stories specifically for this generation, is every generation has those books that kind of highlight who and what they are, and both puts that knowledge into next generations and speaks to the ones going through what they're dealing with. Lord of the Rings, for example, you have a lot of the decay of old empires and whatnot all through. Well, what's Tolkien and them going through in real life? The collapse of the British Empire.
Right.
It's one of those things, yeah. And what is it that our generations, Alpha and Gen Z, are going to be looking at? The collapse of the American Empire and the whole world going mad for a little while. Oh, without speaking that directly, you're going to have a hard time getting them to start looking into older literature written to older times, like War and Peace and World War I and all that.
Right.
So that's just the basic plan, strategy, hope, prayer.
Is this one of the stories you've been putting on Arkhaven or Arktoons?
Yeah, so I've actually am posting 1,000 words ish a day on Arkhaven, Royal Road, and on my Substack.
Mm-hmm.
Shows how new we are to this whole interview thing. We didn't share any of our links or anything to each other.
We'll figure it out.
Hey, I got a Substack. Good luck finding it.
Oh yeah.
But oh well.
I'll
Anyone's
put,
here, they're probably Social Galactic anyway.
yeah, I'll try to put that on the in
Yeah.
the description as well. Let's see here. Is it on? Is it on Social Galactic somewhere?
Yeah. If you just go through my old posts, it should be there.
Okay.
I did I think the 4th episode today. Is it a 4th or 3rd episode? I can't remember. And it was the 4th. My wife confirmed for me. So yeah, basically you get to try before you buy kind of thing. And I also discovered with kind of a big surprise that a lot of people on Royal Road will actually put out their entire books for free and then put them on Amazon, and they still get a lot of money out of it. So I'm like, wow, people really enjoy reading them off of those websites, but also have the websites to know they like the story. It's fascinating.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm kind of planning on doing one a day till the Kickstarter's done, and then go to one a week after that.
Oh, all right. That makes sense. Let's see.
Yeah.
I've got your Substack here. So let me copy that.
Do you have a Substack or anything yet, ArtGainz?
I do. Let me just go here. Substack.
I gotta look that up later. Can't believe I'm not
It's
subscribed.
artgainz.substack.com.
Yeah. I'm not, put that link down there too. I'll find it later and I'll subscribe to you.
All right.
We got to continue this trend of scratching each other's backs like the AI on Facebook.
Oh. Yeah. All right, that's on there now. I'm currently streaming on my regular ArtGainz channel. I'm thinking probably should be on my Culture War channel, but I don't have a lot of subscribers on there yet. I've got like 5 or something. So for the moment, we'll we'll stay on my regular channel.
Well, I mean, I can go away from the mission and just go into the story and how cool the book's going to be.
Yeah, yep. That sounds like a good idea. Tell us about it.
All right. Well, one of the worst things I hate is preachy stuff that doesn't have anything behind it, like every Christian film made in my childhood. I don't know if you guys are ever forced to read or watch something like that, but they are soulless and they kill me on the inside. So I'm very passionate about making a good story to go along with this. And in this case, it's all about the last paladin on the world of Kaya thing, because I'm new to pronouncing my words that I've been writing down. And him waking up 3,000 years into the future to find the world gone mad and trying to set things right before the undead consume everything. So, I mean, I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but yeah, guy at a time, bit of steampunk mixed in. Goblins are actually evil, that kind of thing. You don't have all this obnoxious monsters are just misunderstood, or the monsters are the heroes. We can blame anime a little bit for that. I'm not gonna lie. Some of that I even kind of enjoyed, but it's gone a weird way of late. And so yeah, it's gonna be a good time full of flying airships and flying magical castles and paladins stabbing things. It's a good time.
All right. Is it sorry, I'm trying to do a million things at the same time right now. Is it set in a alternate reality, or just a fantasy universe, or the future, or how's that work? Or is it a mystery?
We'll call it fantasy world for now, though there is connections later on to the world. If I talk about that, we'll be stuck here. You can ask my wife. I kept her up talking about cosmology till 3 a.m. once, and she still hasn't forgiven me completely. She enjoyed it. She just realized what I did and won't let me live it down. Let's just say I have a lot of books to write before it's explained. For now, let's just call it a fantasy world. Let's keep it simple. Good times.
All right. So I guess I'm broadcasting from my office here, and I'm pretty sure the cleaning lady is going to come in a moment. But
oh no,
that I can probably keep streaming even when she comes in. But just so you know, in case you hear,
I'll make sure to embarrass you as hard as I can. That's a bad joke. Oh man. So I guess a little bit more about the setting. So you come into the story right as the paladin sees the last of his brothers in arms die fighting the undead, and they're doing a holding action trying to stop the waves of undead from consuming the final sanctuary of the races of light and saving the arcs on the way there. And they have a Hail Mary plan to put up a stasis field that'll basically freeze. Oh, I messed with my mic. That's how I'm passionate. That'll basically separate them from the rest of the world and put them in like almost different time and space so the undead can't get to them. And in the middle of that, he's betrayed and locked in the stasis field before he can sacrifice himself to save everybody. And that is how he wakes up later when the stasis field starts to weaken and he comes to a world and a time where the powers that be have gone so crazy down their atheism rat hole that they think the undead doesn't even exist because they haven't seen them for so long. So he has this whole thing where he has to convince a whole people who haven't seen the undead for 3,000 years that there's legions of them waiting for them to shut down their stasis field.
I see.
So it's a lot of fun. I get to make pointers. Go ahead.
I can see the parallels there to the modern situation.
Yeah. And that's the whole point. We really need more stories geared towards the world we see today, because generations after us are going to have no idea how we went through this or what it was like to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, unless we start trying, I'm not saying I'm the most brilliantest writer in the world, though you'll love my stuff, I promise. Without people doing it, we're just not going to have that literature passed on and the knowledge passed on. And the next time we come into nonsense clown world, we're going to have even less resources to fight it with. And yes, I do believe they'll come back. They always do.
Yeah. Well, you've certainly piqued my interest. What you were describing just now, it reminds me of what Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin, has been saying recently. He's like recognized the importance of Christianity as a cultural force, but he can't convince himself of its literal truth. And I'm like, man, if you saw some of those clockwork elves or the DMT creatures or something, or had some sort of demonic experience, I think you would you might change your tune.
Maybe, but you'd be surprised at the kind of things that people can just chalk up to nothing. Like they'll be completely terrified in the moment and then convince themselves they didn't see it or it was nothing afterwards.
Yeah,
it's one of the wildest experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was at university, I had a classmate who, like, demonic possession and alien abduction ran in his family, but he was like.
Well, why repeat yourself, right?
A staunch atheist, and I was like, how does that make any sense? Like, you've literally had demons come into your room and bloody your feet, like scratched his feet and stuff like that, and he like refused to believe in the Christian God. In the Christian God, and I was like, how can you believe in demons and be an atheist? I don't get it.
Well, I guess in this case, that one sounds like I don't know him. But if I can put the idea out there, he sounds like he's angry about the experience that God didn't save him, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if God exists, why didn't he help me? And it's almost like I find a lot of atheists are mad at God. And it's kind of hard to be so mad at something you think doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, it seems to be the way it works.
Yeah. But dude, and then you add in, like, I'm glad you brought up the connection to aliens and demons too, because you add in all this like new age stuff that's been hovering around the conspiracy movements, and you realize it's just another layer of Matrix trying to catch people before they go full Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And it really annoys me to see it, but what are you gonna do? Some people will just believe anything but the truth, no matter what.
Yep. I've thought sometimes that the only thing that the devil cares about is like distracting people from Jesus Christ, and he'll do that any way he possibly can. And if it's sorry, I lost my train of thought. Again, I'm trying to do multiple things at the same time here.
No worries.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I think I said mostly what I was planning to say.
Devil, distraction, yes. Tools and ways to... Basically what we were talking about is like layers of lies. So they'll get out of the lie of atheism and they'll jump right into New Age and Buddhism and that kind of stuff right away. Yeah. Instead of going to Christian roots. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, man. Hey, why don't you talk about your book for a little bit too? It doesn't always have to be all about mine. Screaming Void, right?
Oh yeah, I'm just a little bit hesitant to do that because John Delarose is always like, whenever you talk about yourself, people tend to turn off if they're not already invested. But I mean, I can do that a little bit, but I was thinking maybe we could talk about I don't know, Iran or something, because that's what
everyone wants to hear about.
I do know what other people are interested in that. But yeah, I kind of know.
Where are we running to? What? Iran? What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Well, I have one book on Amazon right now. It's The Screaming Void. It's vaguely, it's meant to be an homage to Alien and John Carpenter's The Thing and Chronicles of Riddick. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I mean, I was intentionally going for that vibe with my own sort of twist on the story. And I really have to check to see how many copies I've sold. I know I've sold a few, but I'm really I'm like I just have to keep making videos on AI and advertise the book on there.
There you go. That is yeah. Like we said, I'm definitely gonna get you on my channel so I can. Not that I have a lot of views, but I want to interview you about that AI stuff because I really like what you've been doing with that. You know, not replacing your work, but enhancing it or speeding
Yeah,
it
I
up.
mean, I've been I keep making these like ginormous breakthroughs. But what I really should be doing is working on the comic book for John Delarose. I'm so scatterbrained I can't remember the name of it.
No.
Anyway, it's a it's a reimagining of a Silver Age superhero named, and it's not coming to me. Oh man.
I remember it's the redhead. I got that part. Important. Attractive redhead.
No, it's
Comic.
not. It actually isn't that one. It's that's Ayla Rin. The one I'm working on is I'll just look it up. I'm so embarrassed.
Don't need to be embarrassed. I mean, we can rant about Iran while you look it up.
It'll take me 5 seconds here. Okay. My artwork folder. Nucla. There we go. Nucla. The Nuclear Man.
Yeah. I watched you making the video as you had the AI complete that panel for you. I remember now.
Yeah. So for some reason when I was setting up the AI, I thought, I'm going to try to use the most difficult method possible to do this. And using an AI generator called Flux. And I got it working. And it's pretty cool. But then I figured out, there are probably easier ways to do this using other generators. So I got the complicated way working. And
you just want, it's like playing the video game on the hardest setting. Now everything else is easy. I got you. Yeah. Sometimes that's the way to go.
So I made a tool to help me draw the comic faster, and I just need to get back to that rather than finishing my old artwork, because like I have all this old artwork that's about half finished, or I don't know, 3/4 of the way finished, and the AI just sort of helps me push it to 100%, right? And it's just so intoxicating doing that.
It takes you.
Because like I can take, like with my own skill, I can take something to like, I don't know, 90%, but the faces are still weird, the anatomy is still a bit weird. The AI just sort of gives it a little bit of a, just tweaks just a little bit so that it stops looking stupid. And I'm like, this is great.
I really get that. Like most of the art, not all of it. Like I did all AI art because obviously I can't afford an artist on my Kickstarter. But the map and stuff, I actually just put my old scratchings and art into it, and then it created this really nice visual map that I was really shocked about. And it was also nothing like the original map, but I was able to incorporate it and turn it into the world we were writing in. I really encourage other writers, just try it. Even if you can only draw kitchen scratch, do that. And sometimes you can get the AI to make something really nice out of it.
Yeah. I've been working on ways to get the AI to do that. I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone else doing it on YouTube. There's like, I saw one guy doing something sort of like what I'm doing, but I might be the only person doing this that I'm aware of. But it's so awesome.
Yeah, well, I think that's because you have these two camps. You have the people who are trying to replace the artist, and then the artists going insane thinking they're getting replaced. You don't have enough people just going, hey, why don't we help the artists instead of try to replace them?
Yeah. Let's see.
It is pretty
awesome. Oh yeah, and one other project I'm working on right now, the main one I'm working on right now, is a fantasy novel called
Ooh.
Red Thralls, which is it was I got inspired to write it after listening to Box Day and John Delarose talking about Conan the Barbarian, and I thought,
Ah,
I could try writing
sword and
a
sorcery.
Sigma male character like that, set in a fantasy universe, a Christian knight going around smashing the skulls of goblins and
It's a lot of
vampires and
fun.
stuff like that.
Yeah. It's Solomon Kane, but in knight form. I'm on board.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I, I'm I'm thinking I really should read some Conan the Barbarian just to make sure I'm on the right track. But I'm mostly going from descriptions of Conan and the films. So
Hey, most of the Conan stuff, the classic stuff, Howard stuff, it's free online if you look it up. Just look
yeah,
up
yeah,
the title. Nice and easy. They're actually pretty fast reads too.
yeah. That's what I've heard. I have read Tarzan, so I'm not working completely from a lack.
Out of left
Yeah,
field.
yeah. It is by the same author, so it's
Really? I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. Tarzan, Conan, Solomon Kane.
Ah, yeah. I didn't realize. Freaking movies, man. Sometimes they confuse me. I got to remember that most of their stuff they stole from books anyway.
Mm. Yeah,
Oh man.
so that's what I'm working on. Right. So do you want to talk about Iran a little a little bit? I made this
Well, you
meme the other
see,
day.
Persia came in and captured the Babylonian Empire.
Yeah. A deep dive with ArtGainz and Aaron Doudy.
Man. I don't know how much there is to say about it other than let's all hope the ceasefire holds. Was it the plan all along to get a ceasefire? God, I hope so. Who knows what the situation was really about, but it's amazing to watch the sheer attempts to spark World War III by certain countries will not that have wear certain small hats, as a certain
Yes.
big bear likes to say.
Yeah.
My wife being Ukrainian, the whole Ukrainian thing's pretty close to us on that front.
Right.
Kozak, she makes it clear, Kozak, very important. And I wish I had more to say about those geopolitics. On one hand, Iran is a pretty messy spot, but we're not in a much better location, especially if you factor in things like abortion and the millions of babies we kill every year.
Right,
It's
right.
it's kind of hard to thumb your nose in one direction or the other. One thing's for sure, writing towards the next generation, I can say they definitely have no desire to go die in Iran for anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Most
Yeah.
of them, yeah.
The propagandists are gonna run into a brick wall if they try to inspire the young people to to go off to war.
Well, and that's what's really interesting about the Gen Alpha, Gen Z. They're really, really resistant to propaganda. It's very fascinating. On one hand, just the sheer amount of propaganda gets them onto some things, but they're the kind of a kid, like, that's such a far cry from when I was in school. You have stories about kids like reading about Hitler and saying something. I mean, not that he was like, oh, base, that just because he didn't like Jews or something.
Mhm.
And you get, you want to remind them that, hey, Hitler ruined Germany and was Austrian. That's why he didn't care about the Germans. Napoleon was Corsican, a little Corsican dude who got a bunch of French killed because he didn't care about them. It's amazing how all these dictators and stuff aren't from the countries that they lead off to war and die in a lot of different places.
Right, right.
Tradition going all the way back to Alexander the Great. Sorry.
Yeah.
My wife's trying to make a speedy exit. I'm so distracted by it.
What I found a bit annoying was Steven Crowder going off on Candace Owens, like, she was lying. I was like, no, she wasn't. She
That
was
guy still
absolutely right.
exists.
If Trump had been leading people to war, leading America into war, then the Candace Owen approach of the sky is falling would have been the right approach. So turned out she was wrong, but she wasn't lying. If,
Oh man.
in
Well,
my
Razor
opinion,
Fist
anyway.
actually, Razor Fist did a pretty good one on this one too, pointing out that this is like the third time Trump's gone in, blown something up, and then said ceasefire.
Yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed that didn't occur to me when it happened because I
Yeah,
was I was feeling pretty bad about that. I was like, what on earth is he doing? This is terrible. He's like a toady for the Israelis. But and then it was like, okay, well maybe he was playing some 4D chess there. It turned out, at least that's what it seems to look like at the moment.
Well, something always to remember is in today's politics, there ain't nobody gonna save us, kind of thing. It's more of a delay to the end, so get ready. And it's not the end; it's the beginning of something else. Beginning of something else. It's gonna be scary for a while, but don't worry. If you're not, the world doesn't end with the boomers. It's okay. When they die, it's gonna keep going on.
After us, the deluge.
Did you hear about that too? They put it up on Vox's blog. Stephen King's like latest novel or whatever, the big twist at the end was when the boomer dies, everybody dies.
Oh. Well, I'll have to look into that. That does sound very solipsistic, like Stephen King.
Ain't that the truth? It's okay. His books are better served as like stepping stones anyway. You can't reach the top shelf. Nice big fat stand on it.
Yeah, some of those Stephen King television shows, which are only based on his books, are better than the actual books. The perfect example of that was The Mist. In the book The Mist, the bad guys were the Christians, as they always are in Stephen King novels. But on the TV show, they made the old hippies the bad guys, and I was like, yes, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I never actually watched or read that book. Were they something about there's a monster in the mist and they start sacrificing people to it, or am I
basically, yeah.
All right.
It's the Christians who lead the charge toward, we have to make a sacrifice. Like, well, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
A little confusing. We sort of made a lot of wars on people who did the human sacrifice thing. You could just ask the Aztecs.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's what gets my goat about some people too who are like obsessed with martyrdom and whatnot. Like, we're not dealing with Rome. We're dealing with like a modern Carthage. Carthage doesn't care how you die as long as you do. But martyrdom has its purpose. But even Rome had to go through a civil war before they let Christians not be slaughtered in the Colosseum. Most people forget the whole, switch over to Christianity thing was a war between Constantine and I forget who the other guy was. Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
Okay, man, I'm getting too into the weeds of history. You had the right idea. Let's make fun of more Stephen King or something. Yeah, that'll get people in here.
Let me think. What else is in the news right now? I don't know. Let's go to Twitter.
You perfect.
What are
now
people,
we're on the money. Good old
people,
X. No one's spying on you there. Or Blue Sky, the black hole of skies.
I am on Blue Sky. I made an account on there as a joke.
Oh, come on. You got to do a speed run to get yourself kicked off now. It's very important.
Yeah, I might do that, but not today. Let's see. My Twitter feed is all Bigfoot videos.
Ooh, I like talking Bigfoot. That's always fun.
Have you seen these AI generated videos of Bigfoot?
Oh, those. I have seen the pictures. I have not watched. Is it right, humorous takes of certain Bigfoots.
He's like
In,
white trash Bigfoot. So he's like smoking meth and drinking energy drinks and just living a
to
crazy
be fair,
lifestyle.
some Bigfoot stories have that kind of thing happening. Not one of my favorite ones involved them getting high in a marijuana field that was out in the middle of nowhere that
Oh yeah.
was not that legal, and they were the marijuana growers, who were very criminal, got in a scuffle with them, and the marijuana field burned down. And I don't know. It's a wild story. I want it to be true because it's hilarious that the Bigfoots got angry about the marijuana and got all high. But, it is also pretty out there.
Ah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out a way to bring a lot of these sort of creatures into my fantasy novel.
Not bad. You should also look at like their old mythos stories about them. They're way interesting, and they often play into the current sightings today, even when people don't know about the mythologies.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the moment, I've got like fairies and goblins and kobolds and stuff like that, and I've got a dragon that claims to be a celestial, like what do you call it? An Elohim.
Right.
I haven't really figured out if he actually is an Elohim or if he's just lying about that, but that's one of the plot points.
I guess that depends on if you want dragons to be involved with that. I mean, if we go with the stories in real life, I would definitely say they are, especially if you look at the dragons in Chinese culture.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
all about, it's fascinating because, first of all, their dragons are more snake-like in nature.
Right.
Second of all, if you got to the non-Christian type people, snakes have always been associated in Christianity with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's funny that snakes in a lot of Eastern cultures are considered the messenger of the gods, which if a snake's talking to you, you might want to look twice and make sure you don't eat the apple.
But okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but they're all about like gifting powers to world leaders and whatnot. A lot of like what the Elohim did in the Bible. So, give this guy that whatever in exchange for what. Okay, I'm technically getting more into the Book of Enoch there, but you get the point.
Yeah, I've never. I should probably read the Book of Enoch, but yeah,
it's a wild ride. Remember, the book, the second and third Book of Enoch are medieval creations. It's the first one was in the Dead Sea Scrolls and proven to be pretty darn old.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but second and third are interesting reads if you want to see what fabrications look like.
I see.
Ooh. Oh man, I'm going way nerdy with that one. But now I want to sorry, just adding realism to your fantasy world, you come up with weird ideas like people pretending to be other writers in history. I kind of like that one. That's going to bore people to death, but that really excites me. Like, ooh, how do I implement that?
Let's see. Liver King has been arrested for making terroristic threats against Joe Rogan.
Liver King?
He's some sort of
king of liver.
He advocates it's the health benefits of eating liver, but he also seems to be on a lot of meth.
Look, I could have gone in a lot of different directions. I'm not gonna lie. My brain was trying to wrap its mind around Monsieur Liver King. First, I thought maybe this was like Liverpool, but King, a British town. But no,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's some videos of Liver King just acting very, very strange, like he took all the drugs imaginable.
Let all the demons in. Went a little nuts. That's interesting. Well, not that Joe Rogan has been very good at telling people not to do drugs.
Yeah, that's true too.
What a random event. Well, hey kids, this is why you're careful about what you say on the internet. Hopefully. Then again, if you're the Liver King, maybe you just want the attention.
Yeah, probably.
I feed livers to my dog sometimes. I hear totally. No, she won't eat it. I remember that now. She will. She will only. Our dog will only eat livers if we cook it for her. I don't know how I got such a pursy animal, but I did. She's an Australian Shepherd too. She has no excuse.
All right. Well, I think I have run out of topics, and I think I have some other things to do this evening. But I want to say thank you to Aaron Doudy, RPGrizzly, for joining me today and talking about his Kickstarter. Please check out the links in the description. I'm sure he would very much appreciate it if you check those out. I guess hopefully we'll be back with before too long with more professional setup here and better video and stuff like that. Anyway, I am and
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll get more comfortable with hosting. I think I did pretty good tonight, but I am losing steam at the moment. My my introverted nature is threatening to make me totally go off the rails right now. But
it was the Liver King who did it to you.
Yeah. So thank you to those small number of people who watched. Hopefully there'll be more in the rewatch. But yeah, thanks for watching. And I'm going to sign off and chat with Aaron for a little bit off camera.
All right. See you, everybody. Thanks for coming on. Check it out. Tales from the Dead Sector, Gods of Science and Sin. Kickstarter now.